Hey, it's Dr. K. I'm a California licensed naturopathic doctor and certified sacred medicine woman. Welcome to the Divine Woman Wellness Podcast. This is a show about whole body wellness that is going to support you in finding alignment with your body, mind, and spirit. I believe every woman should have a deeper understanding of her body and soul, and my mission on this show is to guide you through learning about your body, how you can shift your day-to-day life to support health and wellness while connecting to yourself on a deeper level. These episodes are rooted in naturopathic medicine, vitalism, biohacking, and mysticism, and will guide you towards well-being in body, mind, and soul. Thank you for being here. Let's dive in.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Divine Woman Wellness. So, this is a new season. We're going to do some things differently. I am going to actually incorporate some more interviews. And over the last year hiatus, I've actually dived a lot more into the financial world. And I have so many really exciting things to share with you because when it comes to whole body medicine, really, it's also making sure we have or we feel safe and secure. And in part, that is our financial status. So I will talk a little bit more about that on a separate episode. But today I'm going to interview Tangee Zenryka, and I'm so excited for you to meet her. I'm going to bring her on in just a few minutes, and we're going to talk to her a little bit more about what she does and the business that I actually have joined with her. So, yeah, let's dive in. All right, so welcome back. We have Tangee with us today. And hi, it's so good to see you. And I'm so excited we're going to do this interview together today. So I'm going to introduce you really quick, and then I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and we can just freeform after that. So today I'm talking to Tangee Zenryka. She is a freedom visionary activist, an online digital creatrix, an author, a speaker, a single unschooling mama, a sacred word medicine priestess, a fire performer, and a certified quantum coach for reparenting and spiritual evolution who specializes in helping driven moms and women reparent generational trauma while building generational willable wealth so they have more choice and freedom in their lives. Just so amazing. And her mission is to empower mamapreneurs to leave the matrix and create sustainable health, wealth, and freedom for humanity while reshaping the planet's blueprint. That is so exciting. Yay. So many beautiful ways that you're affecting so many people in such a momentous way. Is there anything you want to add to your introduction?
No, you did an amazing job. Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, well, I'm just excited to have you on. This is the Divine Woman Wellness Podcast and all my platforms. So I'm really just excited to share you with the world because we go back now a little over a year almost, and we met during some fun times. And then I've actually started working with you as my own coach, and then I've actually joined in your amazing business as well, or your business adventures, I would say. So it's been quite the journey. So here we are coming kind of full circle, and I just get to share all the beauty you have with my audience. So let's jump right in.
Yeah, sounds
Can you
great.
share a little bit more about yourself and how you came into the space with the Freedom Era?
Yeah, so it was about almost 5 years ago, and I was still a coach, but I was a coach during the day, bartending at night. I was hustling, single mama, and I was trading time for money. I was exhausted. I had actually just finished a year-long program, mastermind for single moms for their self-love and conscious parenting journey with that related to my conscious parenting book, Taming Your Wild Child, 7 Proven Principles for Raising Connected and Confident Children. So it's not about taming our children's behavior, it's about taming the inner child wounds of us adults and learning a family philosophy based on conscious parenting, compassionate communication, mutual respect, and healthy boundaries for our inner child and our children and teens. And so I took them on this journey with the 12-month mastermind, but it was exhausting. It was so exhausting. I was doing the mailing list, I was doing the newsletters, I was doing the back end stuff. I was wearing all the hats in my business. And as much as I love what I do, I realize that if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
And so I was literally, most of us, most of this is what happens for us is trading time for money, whether you have a 9 to 5 or you're an entrepreneur. So it's like, and I was not about to go back to corporate, corporate for many, many years. But I had a supplement with bartending. So I realized that I was at a fork in the road of like, okay, I am wearing all the hats in my business. And then with bartending, I was really tired of it. It was good money. It was cash, great money with bartending and also my coaching. But it was just I didn't want to get people wasted anymore.
Yeah.
Like I really wanted to empower moms and women. I wanted to empower them to like really live in their vibrant like lives, like live a freedom of choice and happiness and joy and conscious parenting and connectedness with themselves and their children. So it was like this was just the opposite of getting people wasted. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And because I wasn't quitting, it's like the universe, when the whole world shut down, it's like
Yeah.
I had to like pivot. And I had started the business right before the world shut down, but I wasn't really applying it because I was busy with the coaching and then the bartending. And so I was just like, I treated it as a hobby at first. But then when I realized what we have here, I was like, oh, this is genius. Like I get to be a part of the freedom era, which you were asking about, where they have the automation, so they have the sales team in place for you that do all the heavy lifting, the automation, the sales funnels, everything that I was doing in my coaching, they have here. So I was like, okay, I have to think smart here and pivot and actually utilize what I have here. This is a genius business model. And so that's what really turned me on to it, is because I was wearing all the hats. And then I feel like it was a godsend that not saying it was a godsend what happened with the world, right? But it was like the push that I needed to go, okay, let's focus on this business model and leveraging it and learning how to build a personal brand online and really learn the skill sets to really connect to my audience.
Yeah, that's amazing. And it really sounds like, well, the universe forced you in a way to
Yeah.
kind of reconnect with your authenticity and bring more alignment to yourself. And that's really what's driving some of this passion behind the business that you're building. And then the Freedom Era has this amazing platform that allows you to leverage that time and just make it so simple and easy. It's more like a plug and play model. Yes, you still have to do the work in the background, but once it's all running, it really turns into this beautiful supportive network.
Yeah.
So that's so exciting. And I just love the fact that you were able to bring yourself into that alignment where, versus
Mhm.
getting people wasted and drunk and really numbing behaviors, this
Yes.
now allows you to help people in the ways that you've sought out to do, and
Mhm.
you still get to do the coaching component. It was like the bonus.
Yeah. Yes,
That's amazing.
absolutely.
That is so amazing. Um, so, I mean, what was the line in the sand moment for you? It sounds a bit like there was a COVID thing. I mean, obviously that kind of
Yeah.
pushed you into it, but
Yeah.
was there something a little deeper? Or is it really just, no, it was the culmination of kind of what you've walked us through with just kind of, I almost hear like a level of burnout. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Exactly.
that
It
little.
was it was complete burnout. That was my line in the sand moment. Was I was completely burnt out as a single mom. Like I at the time I was homeschooling my son. Now I unschool him. And I was just completely exhausted, wearing all the hats, also the unschooling, being a single mom, like hustling. It was the hustle mindset. And that is coming out of need, and it's not coming out of desire anymore with my coaching business. Like my coaching business is like something, it was not, it was having to put food on the table
Mm.
versus I love this and this is what my soul's purpose is. And it lights me up. It was becoming a burden because I was wearing all the hats. It didn't light me up to do the newsletter anymore. Like, and I'm a writer.
Uh-oh.
I'm a writer, and of an author doesn't feel called to write anymore because I was constantly doing all the things and wearing all the hats. It was like that was the line of the sand moment where I was like, I got to find something else that can support me with my dreams and goals and my soul's purpose. That also is like I truly feel as coaches, as entrepreneurs, as visionaries, that successful coaches and successful entrepreneurs, they don't just have one business.
Right.
They leverage multiple, I like to call it multiple streams of income, multiple streams of wealth.
Yeah. And that's so important. And something that I just heard through your story is really, it's fascinating because the coaching, you got into it because you're really interested and passionate about it, but it turned into a burden. And your hobby was the business that you have with the Freedom Era. And it shifted. You turned the Freedom Era project into the the bigger picture, right?
Mhm.
Into the driving force to
Yeah,
leverage your income, but then you got to do your coaching as back or getting back into the passion of that. That's so cool that it allowed you to do what you feel like you're really here to do, and
yeah,
in such a beautiful, cohesive way. That's really incredible.
yeah. It definitely did. Like it actually being a part of this community and this online business, it actually supported me with my coaching business
Yeah.
because it's like a vault, a library of different education and like courses and trainings. Like I was meal piecing when I was doing my coaching business, I was piecing all the different trainings and courses and coaches and personal development. So I was spending thousands and thousands of dollars meal piecing everything and
Mhm.
try to do all by myself, which which was a struggle too. And all of those courses that I did back then, they're not evergreen. So the things that I learned 9, 10 years ago, it doesn't apply to today.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting. And with the Freedom Era, it sounds like, I mean, I know this too because I'm obviously in the Freedom Era.
Yeah.
I know behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
what I love about them is that they continue to give us new courses and that there's so much focus on personal development. So tell me a little bit more how this business continues to support you in your personal growth.
Mhm. Oh gosh. I com This business has completely transformed. Like I've been on this journey of personal development for many, many years, spirituality. Like my dad taught me how to meditate when I was 4. My grandma, she was a natural healer and reverend, and she taught me how to heal myself at age 7. So I've always been around the quantum and around spirituality and around personal development and law of attraction. And so when I saw this community that they're all about law of attraction, Abraham Hicks, and personal development, I'm like, oh my God, I'm home. Yes, this is my community, this is my tribe. And so, but even then, though, even all the personal development that I've done in the years, being a part of this conscious community has completely shifted and transformed so much for me. Like, I don't even recognize the woman I am, where I was before. Like, it actually I'm gonna cry, like, it actually brought me back to my self-love. Like, it really like, I was on a very self-sabotaging path when my son's dad and I separated, about almost 11 years ago. And I was just not loving myself. And I was, and I just also launched my book, and I actually fell in a fire, a man-made fire, and I burned my hand and I burned my thigh and my butt. And it was very, very, very painful. But that was the fork in the road too of like, Tangee, like you have this conscious parenting book that you just published and launched, And you can either go down this road or this road. Like it was the wake up call for me. And when I aligned with this business, like it really allowed me to really start the journey of the shadow work. Start really like, the Freedom Era is really about 80% inner work and 20% strategy. Like you could have all the strategy in the world, but if you are not really doing the shadow work, really doing the inner work, like inner child wounds, like the trauma work. It's like it doesn't matter how much strategy you have. It's like the mindset. If you haven't been able to really heal your relationship with money and heal your relationship with your inner child, like you'll always have those limiting beliefs and lack and scarcity. Like it completely has shifted my relationship with money. Yeah, so it's shifted my relationship with my son's dad. It shifted my relationship with my son. Like it's completely like, whew, yeah, I don't even recognize who I was back then and who I am now. And it's because of this business that has shifted me so much.
That's so beautiful. And I will say that's something that really attracted me as well to this business is the amount of personal development that is actually required in doing this business. Because, like you said, it doesn't matter how good your strategy is. If your beliefs aren't in alignment, you're going to create some sort of self sabotage or it's just not going to work out. I've tried many other business options and the same thing. And I'm still really new in the freedom era, but I've also noticed that all the personal development has shifted me in leaps and bounds. And there's really a quantum acceleration in who I'm becoming. And that's just something that's so beautiful about this business in and of itself is just it values personal development versus push to the grind and just make money. It comes from a place of love and authenticity and caring about the person kind of driving the ship versus like just drive the ship. Um,
Yeah,
which that's
yeah,
really incredible to hear your journey. And thank you so much for feeling comfortable in sharing all that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, and you touched on this a little bit, but the community aspect of the Freedom Era, I think, is huge. And
Yeah.
now I know you've gone on a couple of trips. Would you mind sharing a little bit more about the community that is, it's
Oh,
an international community?
yeah, yeah, it's global. Like so I thought, as entrepreneurs, we're lonely at the top. We usually don't have a conscious community. I did have a conscious community of sisterhood, but we met up once a month. It was a monthly mastermind. It wasn't like it was just like, okay, that whole 3 weeks that we're not seeing each other, and then we get to see each other again, and then it's a whole 3 weeks of like just being alone and trying to scramble and doing things on my own. It was lonely. But here, like I have never ever experienced this type of sisterhood and brotherhood
Mhm.
than what we have here at the Freedom Era. Like the community here really wants to have everyone rise together. Even if we're not on the same team, it doesn't matter. Like we all are as a collective, like helping each other, supporting each other. We want to see each other succeed. We want to see each other rise
Yeah.
as we're supporting and empowering the environment and the globe and the outer community and our own. It's just we just want to see like, so it's not only my vision, and that's where it was really powerful to see this, because my vision is to create a movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this is what's happening in this community. We're all creating a movement together. and and I've never felt so at home. Like I knew, like one of our mentors, Brooke, like she was a conscious parenting educator like myself, and she was also homeschooling to her two kids. And so when I met her, I was like, oh, I'm home. And like the community, like the personal development and like everything, the spirituality, like all of it tied in. I was like, I'm home. I literally felt home. Like there was only one time I ever felt that was Burning Man. But that was temporary, right?
Yeah.
It was more of like partying and having fun. And yes, it's liberating. Absolutely. However, this is more consistent
Mhm.
of a community that really we have each other's back. Like there's some soul sisters that I've only met online, and we have like we're so connected that and we haven't even met in person yet. It's
That's incredible.
yeah, yeah.
It's amazing. It's like all of you is welcome
Yes. Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
of you is safe, right?
Yes. I really love that you've mentioned that because, yeah, in this community, I do feel safe.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that I've noticed across the board is there's so many people from different walks of life, different beliefs, and everybody seems very comfortable in sharing like the deepest depths, and there's no judgment. There's very compassionate communication. And you
Mhm.
mentioned Brooke, and I think she has her own podcast, but she talks a lot about polarity communication, which I'm starting to learn more about. But I can see that not through all of the business, but through definitely parts of the business, there's more and more incorporation of that, which is just so
Yeah.
beautiful. It's like honoring the person for whom they are and meeting them in their true authentic selves. And that's so encouraged, which is so
Yeah.
um
Yes. Yeah. I was taught, when I was, I'll share a little story here. When I was launching my book, I was going to hire someone to do my media, to do the marketing. And she told me specifically, she was like, well, what's your audience going to be like? I'm like, well, I want to reach it to everyone. She's like, well, if you're going to have to reach everyone, then you're going to have to hide your piercings. You have to color your hair normal. You won't. And I had shaved hair before, shaved on the sides. And she's like, you're going to have to, cover your tattoos. I'm just like, what? I'm like, no, that's not me though. That's not my authentic self. She's like, well, if you want to if you have a mission and a movement to reach, the entire world with your book, it's like, yeah, that didn't fit right with me. And so when I came here with the Freedom Era, and it was really about being your authentic self and being vulnerable. Like I never shared my vulnerability before because I had to have this, I thought I had to have this perfect conscious parenting mother image.
uh-huh.
And it's like, no, that's not real. Like, even as a conscious mom, yes, there's been times where I've yelled. Yes, there's been times where I've got into my lower self, and so it's like when I share that part and be more vulnerable, I'm more relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's coming forward as who you fully are. And
Yeah.
life is such a journey, right? Nobody's perfect. You're always developing, we're always learning, we're always growing, and it
Yeah.
doesn't matter how good our intentions are and whom we want to be as our highest and ideal self. I mean, that's important, but it's difficult to be fully perfect. So it's
Yeah.
okay. It's like the messy middle. That's life.
Right.
Messy,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
that's how we're all encouraged to show up as authentic, tear down that white picket fence, which is something that I
Yeah.
really appreciate about the Freedom Era. And it's just so cool. People literally show up just authentically themselves. Sometimes we got a bun and sometimes it's a messy bun, and that's okay because we're showing up and we're being moms and our kids will
Yeah.
come on the screen. And all of that is so beautifully invited. And it allows this really like magical synthesis of your life to really just be your life, not this is my work life and this is my parenting life and all these compartments.
Yes. Yes. The mess, it's true. It's like allow your mess to be their message.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And I love that you're saying like kids will be going through in it. It's like when that's what I loved about it. Also, with one of the founders of the Freedom Air, Christy X Hord, she would have her baby on her boob and
yep,
like leading a whole mastermind with hundreds of people on Zoom. And it's like, but it's just, and her kids will come in and she'll just, put her on mute and she'll be connecting with her child and not saying, oh, get him out of here, just like, she's like, okay, hold on, guys, I got to take care of my son or my daughter. It's like that's real. That's the real life. And that's also sure. I feel like that is what also attracted me to it is because it's so real.
yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of um unlearning of societal structured patterns, right? Like your kids
Yeah.
shouldn't be part of business or shouldn't interrupt a meeting. And
Yeah.
to some extent, I mean, obviously, don't have a party in the background.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there are limits, but
Yeah. Yeah.
for me, it's like definitely like when my kids interrupt, I'm like, oh my God, what are people gonna think? And
Yeah.
so with the Freedom Era and this just freedom, there's such a liberty in that of like, no, it's okay. Just take 30 seconds, connect, and then
Yeah.
they can do what they need to do, which really opens the space for a lot of single moms or a lot of moms
Mhm.
to really be in this business, which is just so beautiful. And I
Yeah.
love that you share this message so loudly
Yeah.
and authentically.
Yeah. Giving
All
us
right.
permission. It's
What was
giving us
that?
it's giving us permission.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And permission feels
Mm.
so good and liberating, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. Any last nuggets of wisdom that you want to share with my community? And because I know we both got to get going to our other meetings, but
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I could talk to you all day long.
I know, right? I wish we'd be here all day. True. So to anybody that's watching this, whether you're on my page or Sabrina's page, whoever's watching, I always just say, just check it out. It's absolutely free to go dive in to see what's here for you. We are actually hosting a 2-day masterclass happening on Sunday, November 10th and Monday, November 11th for 11/11 in celebration for that at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time and 7:30 Central Standard Time. And it's called the Wealth Magic Legacy, Creating Sustainable Health, Wealth, and Money Online. I was like trying to think, money online. Yes. And
Yeah.
so we are creating this for you to like really, we're going to be sharing day one all about mindset, and we're going to be giving tools on healing our relationship with money. And so it's going to be really amazing. And then day two, we're going to go into the nuts and bolts of the business model. And so if you are on the fence or you're wondering what it is, it's absolutely free to see what's here, because you don't know what you don't know
Yeah.
until you know.
Yeah. And I've definitely attended several of these master classes and I learned so much.
Yeah.
So many mindset shifts happen on day one. It's really incredible. And then, day two is such a nice recap, but then also understanding more of what opportunities are there. And I'm really excited to do this master class with you.
Yes, I know.
I know it's coming up so
I
soon.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so
um,
definitely join us,
yeah.
put in the comments, if you're watching this live and on any of our pages, or if you're watching the replay, hit hashtag replay, and then just, say me. I want in and see what's here.
Yeah. And reach out to us so we can share the links and get you all taken care of. So hopefully we'll see you on November 10th and 11th at 5:30 PST. And for now, Tangee, I think I'll let you go because I know you have a meeting, and then I'll see you in a little while.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much for having me on here. Love
Yes, such a
you.
pleasure. Let's do this again. All right.
Yes, please.
Much love. Bye.
Bye.
All right, that was such a wonderful interview with Tangee. She has so much to share, and I would love to have her back on. And maybe we can dive deeper into some of the other areas that she is an expert in. She's just such a wealth of information. But for today, I'm going to let you go. So this is a special episode, and don't forget to reach out to me. I'll actually try to put the link below for if you want to sign up for the masterclass. It is live November 10th through, not through, you don't get me for 24 hours. It will be live November 10th and 11th at 5:30 PST. So day one will be a deep dive into mindset. And then day two, we talk a little bit more about the business and the opportunities that are available. I highly recommend you attend. Just give it a listen. It's free. There's so much transformation that can just happen from listening to these master classes. Absolutely no pressure, but if you're interested, please, please, please DM me on Instagram or follow the links down below on whatever platform you are watching this. And that's a wrap. I'll see you soon with some more interviews and we'll get back to a regular schedule. All right, so much love. Have a beautiful day. Bye bye.